do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
All right. This is Plugged with Mahli and Joe. Had a little technical difficulties. I was trying to get us back on, put my Facebook Live on. I'm going to still do that. I'm going to still get that going. But Joe, lead us in, man. Lead us in while I do that, man. I want to make sure our people can see me on Facebook Live real quick. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, superstar. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Plugged with Molly and Joe, social conscious show for all your everyday needs. I am Joe, of course, and to my left is Brother Molly, the voice.
Yes, sir.
This is a momentous occasion for us because we are celebrating our first year anniversary.
So my God. Yes. We made it. Through the pandemic.
We are a full year in, so it's just amazing. 12 months, we had this thought process. We sat down and talked about what we wanted to do with the show, and a year in, we're still here, still rocking it every Thursday night, and it's a great feeling. We want to send our thoughts out to our brother Zachariah, who can't be with us today, but I know he's with us in spirit as well. So we're keeping you in our thoughts, brother, and we hope to see you back really, really soon.
Indeed. Welcome all to the Mental Warriors podcast. I like that. I like the name of that. I like the sound of that. That actually sounds good. But, who knows? You know what I mean? Brandon, who knows? You know what I mean? It says it right down there below if you look at the screen. So, you know what I mean? Shameless plug, as they say. Shameless plug. Yeah, man. Shout out to Zachariah. Sorry. I want to pronounce his name, correctly. I've been messing it up enough. But yes, what's coming on tonight's show? Topic of the day, it's reflection. We're reflecting. We're reflecting on the past year. The year we had, some interviews, some highlight interviews, some people that we had on that we want to, reiterate some of the messages they brought about that, really struck us. Joe's going to speak about things that might have happened in the past year, or speak about, just the word reflection, you know what I mean? Because reflection means a lot to me based on just looking in the mirror and understanding exactly who you are, what you want to do, how you want to do it, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened with this podcast, you know what I mean? I'm reflecting on it right now. I know when we first started, I think I was nervous in what we was trying to do and what we was trying to bring. I think we really got into a groove. What you think there, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know. I mean, we knew as far as what we wanted to talk about, but we didn't know the format of it. We didn't know what we were going to say or how we were going to say it. So that was part of it. And now, look where we are. We're in. It comes naturally to us because this is what we've been, I guess, manifested to do.
Right. And this next year, listen, I'm looking, we're going to speak to what we're looking for, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. We're looking for bigger and better. Of course, we're going to make our ancestors proud. And, and then we're going to touch on these current events. There's things happening in the news, of course, that's, kind of disturbing. When you talk about the war, we talk about Eric Adams speaking out about a little the attacks on the subways, and we're going to speak about one particular attack that happened on the subway, a real nasty situation there. And I think we have another topic that we're going to touch on during current events. But as far as my past week, it's actually been eventful, of course, dealing with BALA, of course, BALAA.org. Check us out, like us, share us, pray for us, do whatever it is. Because actually we're going to be big with, regardless, what I mean? We're going to do it big regardless because we have the right mentality. We have the right mindset. We're trying to do it for the right reasons. So with all that, there's no way we're going to lose,
Absolutely. I think right now everybody's just trying to turn a corner, because we've hit a lot of high notes in regards to the COVID pandemic. A lot of people might say that it's over and a lot of the mandates are getting lifted. And I tell people not to, don't heed on what's happening now. Don't get loose. Don't get footloose. You know what I mean? Be precautious with what's going on, because the light's at the end of the tunnel, but we still got a little ways to go before we can say freedom, freedom. You know what I mean? So, but it's a good feeling though to know that there is a light, and I think we've gotten past the hard parts, of it, because it's been over 2 years. So it's good to know that we're almost at, we can see the light, and it's looking good. It's a positive,
I mean, with a lot of the things that myself, my business partner, and myself, the family, the wife, and all of us, everything is just happening. You know what I mean? Like you said, turning the corner and start realizing, start realizing your worth, start realizing your, manifesting your greatness, all of those different things. So, like I said, in the last year or so, I just seen growth, you know what I mean? Total growth, you know what I mean? Able to accept a lot of things that I can't change, and then change a lot of things that I can. So, so we're gonna talk about the platforms we're on. Of course, we're on Amazon Music, Pandora, Stitcher, Podchaser, TuneIn, Reasons Podcast, Google Podcasts, YouTube, of course, Facebook, Instagram, Anchor.fm, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Mixcloud, iTunes Podcast, the EveningRushNetwork.com. Download the Evening Rush Network app, available on both iOS and Android. And also you could catch our videos on Plugged. That's Plugged with Mahli and Joe on Facebook. You can catch us on there. You can also catch us on YouTube and a few different other platforms as Plugged as well. So yes, Instagram at PluggedMJ, of course, as you see down there in the ticker. You could call in 929-441-2417, because we're a live show. We live and direct. We're here. We right now. Call in. Let us know what you're thinking about the war. Let us know what you're thinking about just anything that's going on in our community that you want to address. All right. So our next segment, of course, is one of my favorite segments, of course, because it's where we give the flowers that's due for those that's here with us, and their the ancestors would probably look down on them and say, yo, you know what, they doing a good job. No?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is the part of it I want to try to show that light. We have a hard time giving people their praise while they're alive. Everybody always gets their flowers after they're gone. We look back and remember them. So this Making Ancestors Proud segment is great for us, because we're able to let them know while they're here. Good job. We love you for it.
Exactly. And then we also pay homage the following week. So the back and forth, I think as the year go on, we're going to try to highlight and make this segment a little bit bigger, because I think we can take a little page out of Zakaria's book when it comes down to it, where it's like sometimes we probably don't even give them enough light. You know what I mean? So let's try to let's try to make them proud in giving them their flowers. All right. So Joe, kick us off, man. Who's making my ancestors proud this week?
I come up to bat swinging.
Okay.
This lady is probably one of my favorite female musicians of all time. I got to see her a few years ago, and she still sounds like it's 1974. So I'm talking about the Empress of Soul, Miss Gladys Knight.
The Empress of Soul.
That's right, the Empress of Soul. She is an American singer, songwriter, actress, businesswoman, and author, a 7-time Grammy Award winner. She is known for the hits she recorded during the 60s, 70s, and 80s with her group, The Pips, which included her brother Merrill Knight and cousins William Guest and Edward Patton. Gladys is still out there doing it. I don't know if you're familiar with the Versus series that they did. They had her and Patti LaBelle a few months back.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah,
and they had Dionne Warwick on it. And it was such a great moment to have the sisters still out there doing it. Gladys is almost 80, and she still sounds like she did when she was 20. And still, and it's just good to have. I picked Gladys Knight because, first of all, it's Women's History Month. That's number one.
Okay.
And like I said,
all the women out there that's part of that.
That's right. And she's continuing to show the young folks how to get it done. So Gladys is still here with us, and she continues to go. Well, I guess once things liven back up. They'll be going back out on tour, and I would love to go see her again. And it's just a joy to be around. She was also a television star as well on a lot of TV hit shows. She did a few soundtracks to. I don't know if you remember the movie Claudine. She was her and the Pips did a soundtrack to that. She was also in a film called Pipe Dreams, and also on a very underrated show called Charlie and Company with Flip Wilson in the 80s. A lot of people don't remember that because it was only on for a season, but she continued to remain in the spotlight and done it humbly. So shout outs to Miss Gladys Knight. Continue doing what you're doing. I'm giving you your roses.
All right. Wow. I will go ahead and pay more saying who making the ancestors proud. Someone that's making our ancestors darn you give her a shout out. That saying's by Butter, the sister that made our show. You see this church right here? Okay, from our sister over. Sayings by Butter. Shout out to you, ancestors. You know what I'm saying? One sister's out there doing her thing. So person that I went with, I said, okay, it's actually news. He just thank you, sis. Thank you for the happy anniversary. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Again, better. Yeah. Oh, okay. Glad it's just favorite artist. Okay, all right. People be knowing things.
That's right.
This is new news. All right. So, as it was reported today, okay, legendary actor James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones is who I pay homage to. That's my man. They call him the doctor, whatever you want to call him, the king of Zamunda, whatever. But this man is legendary. He is said to have a historic Broadway theater named in his honor. Okay, the Schubert organization announced Wednesday, March 2nd, that it will be renaming its 110-year-old court theater to the James Earl Jones Theater. Shadow and Act reported. The move seeks to celebrate and solidify the significance of Jones' contribution to Broadway and the craft. All right. So Jones, 91 now, mind you, 91, and we just seen a movie with him in it, although it was short-lived, but it was funny, you know what I mean? Is known for his roles in films including The Lion King, one of my favorite animations of all time. It's a soft spot for me. Coming to America, The Great White Hope, Star Wars, and many more. Star Wars was he was the iconic voice for Darth Vader. Yes. All right. One of my favorite times he did was when he was played Bring to Life Tennessee Williams' Cat in the Hot Tin Roof. I remember that one. That was so dope. Like this man range was so awesome, and that voice, and me, I everybody talk about my voice and all this other stuff, and I play. Listen, this year as we talk about reflections and whatnot, people keep telling me, and I'm gonna try it, man. Listen, because this man is known, throughout the world just for his demanding voice and it's soothing too. It was like a calming voice. It was like they said, it was like the voice of God. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies, one of his favorite plays. He was in the original Fences.
Right. Oh,
and with Angela Bassett's husband playing the young kid in the 80s. He did the role that Denzel did in the movie, but he was on a Broadway play back in the 80s.
I remember that. Yes, I remember that.
He was just amazing.
Yeah. He's an amazing actor. He's an amazing person. He just, influence throughout, from generation to generation. And, and I'm sure listen, he's making our ancestors proud. I know they look down on his 91 years on this earth, and yeah, and yes, he was Darth Vader. That was him. I mean, once you know it, you can't not hear it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like once you actually know that, it's like I realized who it was. Early on, because when I first heard it, I didn't know who he was. I mean, I was a kid. And he was of no significance to me, you know what I'm saying, at the time. But as time goes on and, you're doing voice, so that's, I want to try to even go into that world and just see what the world may bring. They said, my mommy said, happy anniversary. Thank you, mommy. Appreciate you. So thanks for listening. Love you. I do this for you, sweetheart. I do this for you. Yeah. Make you proud. Do something, right? Yeah, man. I gave her a lot of headaches, so I might as well do something, right?
There you go. That's your payback.
Right. Make us smile some, right? Yeah, man. And and that's another person that's made our ancestors proud because all she did was, bring in 6 beautiful children into this world to actually make a contribution, a positive contribution to this earth. So, of course, when they look down on the little people, they see her. All right. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to James Earl Jones. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the here and now, and then we're going to reflect, right? Because the topic of the day is reflections. It's our anniversary show. We're going to talk about, what have we done, right? All right, Joe, kick us off, man. Current events. What you going to?
Well, this is
one.
all right. Well, I'm going to talk about Mayor Adams
Okay.
responding to the release of the alleged subway feces smearer. This is just so gross to talk about because it's something that you wouldn't expect. And I don't know how I would personally respond if that was to happen to me. So apparently with this, with the gentleman, his name is Frank, Aquibono. He has had multiple hate crimes and things over the last few years. And once he got arrested, they released him and then immediately took him to Brooklyn and arrested him for another charge for him a hate crime against a Jewish person. And they released him for that. So people are pissed off because this guy should not be in the streets. People are claiming that it's a mental health issue, but there's no resources to get this brother the help that he needs, if that's the case.
Wouldn't you be pissed off? Listen, me personally, all right. I understand there's a mental health crisis, right? Now, my personal feeling about that is they need preventative measures. No, they need more preventative measures. They need to be more proactive than reactive because reactive still means they did the crime and they still need to do the time, as they might say, and do the time with the right resources necessary. No.
I absolutely agree, but that goes to show how unprepared this city is. Remember, when de Blasio was in office, they had that $850 million that they dedicated towards mental health programs and issues.
Right.
Nothing was ever come from that. So
right.
what happened to that? If that was really put into play, we shouldn't have these problems now.
Well, we all know that me personally, I think the climate of politics is changing. I think that the trust issues that we might have had in the past is subsiding in a sense that I think the right kind of people actually is figuring out the system, unless they start closing that door. You understand what I'm saying? Because quiet is kept. Even I'm delving into that world. But that's just something that's we'll see about that. See how that work out or what have you. But see, and that's a future announcement, I guess. But yeah. I don't know. I think that if they go at it again, I think there'll be some changes. What you think? I don't know. If they go at it with some money, if they go at it with some money, I think changes will happen. What you think, Joe?
I'm not as confident as you are. I think, unfortunately, it's going to take the worst to happen in order for change to happen, because that's what it seems like. It seems like we need these things to happen in order to say, oh, there's a problem, we need to fix it. So, we know it's an issue. We know that it is one, but it doesn't seem like us knowing is a problem. It seems like something needs to happen in order for us to say, oh, now we got to fix it.
Yep.
And that's how I feel.
Yep. Well, like I said, we could sit here, we could cry, we could, like they say, Mitch, we could moan and all of that stuff. We could point fingers, we could lay blame, but what we should do and what we can do is get in these streets and do something about it. And that's just something like I said, that's something that I'm in position to do as of now, doing the politics and whatnot. It's the reason why I'm like kind of because it's actually I'm not emotional about it per se, Joe, because I didn't even tell you about it, but yeah, I'm a candidate for one member of Democratic County Committee 56 Assembly District, and 50 election districts. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Kind of different. I have no clue what that what that entails. What I'm in store for? But I'm gonna get out in these streets and get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, that's how you got to start it. I mean, we know that it starts with the people in the community first, right? And if we have more
Right.
people in the community, it'll change. So, yeah,
Right.
congratulations, please. Cheers up for that, because that's a hell of an accomplishment. And let's hope that, there's more people like you to do that. And, it just you can find your people, find your background. That's right. We in these streets.
Yeah.
So let's get it. Let's get it done. Let's do what we have to do.
Yep. And then shout out to Jada John, producer Jada John, who's also a candidate for her election district. All right. So, we trying to do things. Like I said, we're not trying to talk about it over at Baller. We're trying to be about it. You know what I'm
We're all
saying?
out here just making changes, huh? That's where it starts.
And so now you understand why I say I feel confident. I feel a little bit better. I feel more confident because I'm in the door. Hey, I have more confidence in myself. Listen, you tell me that's the money for. I guarantee that's what the money going to get done with. You know what I mean?
That's right.
All right. So that was one current event. The feces smearer, he should not be. Thank you, sis. Appreciate you. You know what I mean? He should not be out in these streets at all. I don't believe so. I believe that was actually like an assault. You know what I mean? Because think about it, it's a mental assault, if you ask me. You know what I mean? First and foremost. But okay. So the next topic we got, Joe. What you got going for us, Joe? Because these are your topics, Joe. What you got?
Boy. Okay. So we can. All right. So I'm all right. So the officer that shot the bullets in the Breonna Taylor situation in the neighbor's apartment during raid, he was acquitted of all charges. And he was the only officer that was brought up to any type of charge in regards to all the officers that raided the apartment. He fired 10 bullets into Miss Taylor's apartment. 3 pierced the wall and flew into another apartment where a family slept. And he was acquitted of all charges.
I just want to say, sleep in peace, sis, because nothing about your death has gotten any kind of justice. Nothing about what happened to you it's gotten nothing. This is so sad, just to even, our lives do not matter. What more to say about this case? You know what I mean?
Nothing. It's just to know that these things are, it's like time passes and same thing. And also the one that killed Dante Wright on the one in Milwaukee, and sorry,
right, yeah.
She only getting what? Well, how much did they get? What, 2 years?
2 years
or something like that. So
years.
It's like you let the time pass, and they realize, oh, time enough passed, and you served your time, your punishment.
So what I'm noticing is that, like, what they're doing is they're giving and taking. Like they hit some of them hard, and then they'll give us they give us a banger, and then they'll take 2 little ones. You know what I mean? They'll acquit and then give a light sentence on 2, and then bang them again. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's no consistency in what I'm seeing right now. There was no reason for that young lady to be. Now, mind you, the crazy part about me that I don't like about this is that they had more of an argument about the bullets that went into the neighbor's house that almost struck the neighbor than about the bullets that went inside of this young lady
and killed her. Exactly, and that's what it is.
So rest in peace, Breonna, man. We still remember your name. We still remember who you are, and you're the reason why we're here. You're one of the reasons why we're here. We're tired of that happening to our sisters, of that happening to our brothers. We're just tired, and you're the reason for a podcast such as Plugged, the Mental Warriors. Salute to you.
Let's not forget.
Let's not forget at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? All right. Do we have a video for this next one? Do we have a video? I thought we had a video. I'm not sure if we had a video. Do we have a video for the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, who just berates and upbraids students for wearing masks, calling it COVID theater, meaning they're being dramatic per se. Do we have a video? No, we don't have a video. Well, let's talk about it, Joe. You brought this one up. I'm outraged by this. I mean, I don't, but Joe, you had all the information on this one.
Well, they were at an event for the University of Southern Florida. He admonished a group of high school students for wearing face masks around him, calling it COVID theater and telling them to remove the face coverings. Despite the event being held in a part of Florida where the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention still recommends indoor masking.
So there you go. We got the video. Let's check it out real quick. Let's see if we get the video out real quick. Because I didn't see it. I just read about it. I didn't see the video. Yeah. I mean, listen. All of them. Listen. The government, this whole country, just be having one bad tantrum. When you talk about the war that's happening and whatnot, I mean, Putin just seemed like he's just a big kid just having a tantrum. Like, I want this land and I'm going to take it, and y'all ain't giving it to me. And they are just blowing places and just killing up people, bro. And everybody is just going on with their lives like a status quo. Like the funny part is the sanctions and all that. And I'm sitting here like, yo, what is a sanction? Like, oh, okay, we're gonna hit them in their pockets. We're gonna hit them where it hurt. Man, listen.
That stuff don't mean anything. It was very comical because, he's a Trump supporter. That's number one. So great minds think alike in that aspect. And same thing for Vladimir Putin of Russia. They all have that. When they don't get what they want, they raise hell. And that's what they're doing. It was a hissy fit. I mean, these are kids and they're only doing what they're being told. Now, you got the highest power of office in that state. Right, the governor is the highest power office in their states, right? And this is how you're acting. So
what I don't understand is how they figure that some type of sanctions is going to bother one of the richest men in the world.
You notice that their attack is funny. They're hitting him financially. Because it's not really about Putin, it's about the country. They figure if you take away the stuff that the country likes, they'll go to him and say, we gotta, you're messing up our flow, so you gotta do something different. So, and then that's what when you all these sanctions and all these other countries pulling out support of Russia and businesses and things like that, they're trying to cripple the country from within. This is smart. It's a smart tactic, but it's like, but let's see how long Putin can hold,
But let's go back to the governor, Ron DeSantis, because we didn't get to the video. So I want to talk about it a little bit more. I thought we was going to get to the video, but I want to talk about it a little bit more because I really, didn't he tell him to take it off and all this other stuff? Like he got aggressive with them in a sense.
He got aggressive. It was like he was sick of it. He told him, honestly, it's not doing anything. And he's pointing at them. We've got to stop with this COVID theater. So if you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous. As if to say he had a problem with them wearing the mask.
See, my problem is one month, like a month ago, you have a surge in cases, and then the following month you're sitting here talking about this COVID theater. And me personally, I'm trying to figure out when did COVID run away? Because I remember it was a ticket. You see that ticket that's on the bottom of this show right here?
Yeah.
COVID information used to come across your TV screen just like that. Day after day. All of a sudden, you don't hear about no more cases. Matter of fact, it's just a blip in the newsreel now.
That's right. Because the war is the most important thing on me. Let me stop before I get in trouble. But no, that's exactly where that's exactly where we are. You got the new thing, so this is a new trend right now. So we in war.
Yo, you ain't Zachariah. He's like, I ain't gonna go there.
Let me not go there. Listen,
I ain't gonna go there. Do we got the video?
We got the video now.
I don't know. There you go.
Told a group of high school students to take off their masks right before a press conference at USF yesterday. Well, tonight, this mobile billboard started driving around the state capitol in Tallahassee with the saying, quote, tell him to respect science and our kids. And ABC Action News reporter Mary O'Connell spoke with the students who were actually there.
As Governor Ron DeSantis got settled for a press conference at USF Wednesday, this happened.
You do not have to wear those masks. I mean, please take them off. Honestly, it's not doing anything. We got to stop with this COVID theater. So if you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous.
The governor heard speaking to a group of Middleton High students who were asked to be part of the press conference. Eric Marshall was one of those students, right behind the governor.
I was perfectly fine with taking it off. I felt like, yes, he was a bit of an abrupt ask,
we can stop it there. Wow. Yo, he was dead serious, man.
Yeah, he was
dead serious. And for that, man, you get clown of the week, man. Man, you get clown of the year for that, man. Salute to you, brother. He get it all. I wish you had the donkey noise. Yeehaw,
yeehaw. That's right,
boy, man. And with that, listen, words from our network, the Evening Rush.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
All right. We are back, and we are sponsored by Baller, none other but Baller Shot Callers, BALAA.org. That's BALAA.org. That is baller.org. And then we are on Instagram at PluggedMJ. We are on Instagram at PluggedMJ. Also, we are on Facebook. Okay, we are on Facebook at Plug with Mahli and Joe. Check us out on Facebook. Give us a like. Go on YouTube with Plug with Mahli and Joe. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Something like that. I think that's how it works. And this topic of the day, of course, is reflection. Okay, all right. I don't know, Joe and myself. We do this for the love of it. And I think we have a good recipe in doing it this way, doing it for the love. And I think all of that good stuff, all of the the notoriety and all that other stuff will come in due time once we figure out, what that really looks like, what that means for us, right?
Absolutely. This is, like I said earlier, we're manifested to do this. Yeah. We can do this with no grain of salt. We do this because we love to do it, and this is important to us. Right. But this is, and is a purpose of doing it. There's a purpose behind it. So we're just continuing the purpose of what we're doing, and we're doing it because we love it. Like when you find something that you love to do, it's not work. It's fun. So this is fun for us, and we're going to continue doing it until life calls us to have to do it anymore. It's
like a mental gym or something. You know what I mean? Sitting there just flexing. Just working out the brain.
That's right.
All right. So, of course, today anniversary show. Shout out to Plugged. Shout out to everybody that's a part of this, the Evening Rush Network. Shout out to Baller. Shout out to Jada John. Shout out to the families that support us in the background. My sister, my wife, my kids, who actually, if you watched the shows earlier, they didn't know how to keep quiet. But as you noticed, they started keeping quiet. So shout out to the kids, them, and all that, man. And that's just reflecting, the show is reflections, right? So the first video that we want to reflect on, because we had a few interesting guests, you know what I mean? And we're going to get back to that. I think I just wanted to lock in with our new host, that's a reflective moment as well, because we, at one time he was just a guest on our show, and then he elevated and showed his worth to now be part of the show itself, and that's our brother Zakaria. But let's go to a video. Joe, talk to me. Which video are you looking at?
This woman was actually our first guest, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Melissa Sue John, and we were talking about the topic of disunity.
Okay. Here we go. Yes. We're going to clap it up.
Me tonight.
All right. Thank you for being here, Dr. John. Dr. John, how are you today?
I'm doing so well. Thank you for
All right,
having me.
all right. We appreciate you. We're humble for you coming on our show. We're in our infancy, as they say, and we know that you take what you do seriously. But what our topic is today is the psychology of disunity. And we have some questions for you. I mean, if you want to just address what you think about the psychology of disunity is from your standpoint, and then we'll just come behind you and maybe drop a little few questions or have what we have on our minds.
Awesome. So when we think about disunity, I want us to think about it as is it an actual process where everyone as a collective is not in unity with others, or is it that there's some people that aren't in unity? Is it a systemic thing or an individualistic thing? And when I think about it, I really think of it from a historical perspective, where did it start? So when I think about it, I say, all right, so the 1920s, we have Blacks free, trying to integrate, trying to go to white businesses, and they weren't welcomed. The N word is not welcomed here, right? So being disinvited or dismissed or pushed away, we were forced to unify. We were forced to support each other, and we became self-sufficient. And when the white people realized that we were gaining wealth, which they didn't want, they destroyed us. They begrudgingly found ways to destroy our establishment. So we had Black Wall Street, we had Tulsa, right? We supported each other, but then we no longer had successful Black neighborhoods, successful Black communities, and that forced us into integration. So that's the historical perspective. But in terms of the psychological perspective, how do you divide a people? How do you make people feel like they're less than, that they're inferior, right? You divide them, you separate them, and then sometimes we internalize that racism. So we look at each other as, we don't see each other as worthy, we don't see each other as valuable. What are the comments that you hear often? Why we don't support Black businesses? Bad customer service, bad products, too expensive. But where do these thoughts, comments, statements come from? It's us internalizing the racism that Black isn't strong, good, worthy.
Okay. That now, mind you, that was like 2 minutes and some change or what have you. Man, listen, man, listen, I remember she came out of there, listen,
out the gate, just
firing, right? Yo, shout out to Dr. Sue John, Dr. Melissa Sue John. Clap it up. Shout it out to her. My God, man. Listen.
Yeah, we gotta have her back on soon.
Yeah. I think that's an ASAP kind of situation. Like, producer, get on that, because What, man? Listen, and then the crazy part is, like I said, we was in our infancy in such matters. So listen, I know for a fact that we listen, we'll have a good one. We'll have another good one, and we'll try to get get in her head some more, because that's what she does. You know what I mean? This is what she do. And then the crazy part is her publishing company. Remember we was talking about
about her books.
Yeah, right. About her books and whatnot. That was pretty dope. And then I think Lawrence Simone Publishing House. Yes, Lawrence Simone Publishing House. And that was it was about her daughters. I believe it's named after her daughters.
Yes.
And it's such an awesome situation. I think it's about kids authors. And guess what? The kids over at Baller is actually going to be published authors.
There we go. Yeah. That's how we start, right?
Publishing house. So my son with a bunch of other kids, they're going to have an actual children's book out there. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But to kind of just reiterate, reflect on what she said in regards to disunity, we're still seeing a bit of the same. But what I will add to what she mentioned in regards to it coming from the other group of people, white people, I think it's more of us that provide disunity within each other. I think we don't support ourselves. I look at all of these artists and these millionaires and Black billionaires. How come we don't have a Black-owned city yet? How come we don't have a Black-owned community?
Right.
We have the resources now. This is not 1920 anymore. We're in 2020s. And we're at a point where we have enough people that are our skin tone that are making enough money to where they can support our own. Why don't we have that yet?
Good question, brother. Good question, man. And one, and that leads us into our next video, with a man who it's got to change our mindsets. We one of my favorite guests ever, one of my favorite people after I even came to encounter him and whatnot, was none other than Billy Mitchell, and he speaks as to why and the kind of work you have to do, or the work you got to put in to actually even make a change or to do anything historic, So this is what we're trying to do, something historic. Yeah, Billy Mitchell. Yeah, Mr. Mitchell, you had an interesting story before in production about Mr. Curtis Mayfield. You want to share that with us?
Yeah, a lot of people may or may not know that a lot of those early songs that Curtis Mayfield did when he was with the Impressions, he was only about 17 years old. He was 16 or 17 years old. Can you imagine this young kid coming out with these powerful songs? Jerry Butler, it was part of the Impressions. You have these group members, and sometimes people go out on their own. I remember when Curtis Mayfield was injured. It was a concert at Wingate Park in Brooklyn, right? And it was a rainy day, and the wind was blowing, and some of the lighting apparatus fell down, and it injured Curtis Mayfield so bad that he was confined to a wheelchair. It paralyzed him. But Curtis Mayfield is definitely one of the ancestors that we just hope he rests in eternal peace. He was a dynamic musician, arranger, writer, producer. For those that are of a young age, go check out YouTube, Curtis Mayfield, and check out some of his work. So Curtis Mayfield, I totally agree with you, Joe. I salute you. Curtis Mayfield is a great honor to be given to him today. Absolutely.
Yes. So as we talking to you, Mr. Apollo, who do you pay homage to today? Who do you pay homage to today?
Oh man, Marvin Gaye and James Brown. Wow. Now, the reason why I mentioned those two brothers is because they did something for me that people may not know. For those you don't know, I started giving service to the Apollo Theater way back in 1965 when I was 15 years old. I'm 71 right now. Imagine that. But I started giving service to Apollo back in 1965. I was born and raised in the great city of Mount Vernon, New York. I am one of 14 children, right? 14 children, and that my mom gave birth to. And we were going through some tough times in Mount Vernon. Unfortunately, the building that we were living in was about to be condemned. So we had to get the hell up out of there, right? So my family moved to the South Bronx. And then I remember my mom sending me down to Harlem one day to get some money from her cousin. My mom's cousin lived directly across the street from the backstage door of the Apollo back then. Now it's a schoolyard, but back then there was a row of buildings. So on the day I go get the little money from my mom's cousin, cousin wasn't home. So I'm walking up and down 126th Street in back of the Apollo, looking at her door, hoping she would come in. And then I got tired, so I walked to the side where the Apollo Theater was located to get out of the sun. And I'm standing near the backstage door of the Apollo. All of a sudden, the door opens up, and Frank Schiffman, who owned the Apollo back then, he comes down and says, "Hey, kid, what are you doing back here?" I said, "Sir, I'm not doing anything. I'm waiting for my mom's cousin. She lived right across the street." And he says, "Oh, yeah, well, why are you waiting? You want to make some money?" Now, I got shook by that question because, I had never been asked by an adult, "Hey, kid, you want to make some money?" Where started going through my head, right, bros? So what I did was he calmed me down and says, "I'm not going to mess with you. I'm asking you, do you want to make some money by running to the store for some musicians that are working inside, rehearsing for a big show tonight? And they want you to go get their coffee and their newspapers and their shoes shine. If you do that, they'll give you a little tip." So I started running errands. So as time went by, whenever I needed some money, I would go down to Apollo Theater and make me some chips, right? So on the times that I saw James Brown, he would always ask me, "How you doing in school, Mr. B?" And Mr. Brown always called me Mr. That was another thing that blew my damn mind, because imagine an adult calling the kid Mr. Right? So Mr. How's school coming along? How's school? So every time I saw him after that, which was, he was at the Apollo a lot, and I would run errands. He would ask me, how you doing in school? And I always told him I was doing great. In fact, I wasn't. See, my family had just moved to the Bronx. I wasn't familiar with the way the kids in the Bronx dressed. My hygiene was off. It wasn't good at all. I was called Stinky Boy. I was, yeah, man, they used to dog me, man. So what happened was, when James Brown asked me how was I doing in school, and I always told him I was doing great. But one day, Mr. Brown told me to go back home, get my report card, bring it back, and prove to him that I was doing well. And when I went and got the report card, brought it back, he saw that I was failing all of my subjects. Because I wasn't paying attention in school, because the kids used to dog me, right? And he threatened me that I wasn't allowed to come back and run errands until my grades had gone up by the next report card. Now, that's the push that I needed, because it scared me, because I needed that money, because I was helping my mother out. I was able to buy a couple of shirts from AJ Lester's. Yeah, I was able to, and I had to get my gear game up, right? So I needed that money, and I wasn't about to jeopardize it by not doing well in school. So when he threatened me that I wasn't allowed to come back, I went to school. I started raising my hand, asked the teacher to explain stuff. I started understanding the lessons. I applied it to my test, and I went from failing everything to being on the honor roll. Now, my point is, when I finally graduated from high school, James Brown was so proud of me. He said, so what you gonna do now, Mr. B? I said, I'm thinking about going to business school. Oh, that's good. You want to be a businessman? I said, yes, sir. He says, it costs money. I said, yeah, but but do your family have it? I said, no. And he reached into his pocket, bro, and he pulled out this knot, and he started peeling off paper, right? So I took the money that James Brown gave me for graduating from high school, along with the money that I had saved from some money Marvin Gaye gave me. And I applied to a business school on 23rd Street and Lexington Avenue, and that was back in 1971 or 72. So I give homage to James Brown and Marvin Gaye, because they influenced me with my education. They made it possible that I could become a businessman, and then later on, that business experience led me to do other things at the Apollo Theater. So yeah, I salute those brothers.
Wow.
Listen.
Like I said, and that was just one of many stories, man. Like that man is just a walking, living legend, man. Like my man sitting here talking about James Brown, like I'll be talking about one of my mans in them.
Right. I never get tired of hearing that story. I've heard it so many times, which reminds me, we got to get Baller with the Apollo Experience really soon, because they've opened up the theater again.
Okay.
So we got to get y'all going. That's one of the things that's in our near future. But I never get tired of hearing Billy's story, and just the people that he's been around, the people that he's got to influence by working at the Apollo Theater. That's a life that everybody would love to live, So it's just a great atmosphere. And he talks about how he started from nothing to where he is now. And that's the story for all of us. We all have a story similar in regards to how we started from the bottom. Now at where we are. We're not necessarily at the top of our games, but we're doing okay. You know what I mean?
Right. And we're only doing this, and we're only here because of men like Billy Mitchell. We're only able to exist in this flux of uncertainty, because we're certain about who we are as Black men, Black women, and the Black family. I know I'm certain. I know you're certain. I know the people that's involved in this program and is certain of who they are. And I can only speak to that. You know what I mean? And Billy Mitchell's story was so inspiring. Everything about it. Everything. I remember he was talking about. He talked about so much things, man. When he was I can't recall it, but matter of fact, I'm gonna watch the video again and then bring it back for you guys. I'm gonna watch the whole video again just for that. You know what I mean? Because he had so much information that day. He had so many stories, and like I said, he's the reason why we're here. He's one of the reasons why we're here. I never really personally heard of the man until Joe brought him to the show. You know what I mean? And it was like, wow. you know. And those are the men that, like myself, like Joe, when Joe speaks of his story, when he's an elder and he's up there in his, old age or what have you, you know what I mean? He's going to say some of the same things. He's going to be on some old, I met so-and-so. I did such and such. I had a podcast at one time. I was spitting this. I don't know what y'all talking about.
This is just part of our legacy, This is
right.
When we're gone, people can look back and say, "Hey, there's two socially conscious brothers that's trying to make a difference. How did they do it with their voices?" And we're going to continue doing it until, like I said,
legacy builders over here. Legacy builders over here. That's what we're trying to do, man. And I think talking about reflection, right? In the past year, we made a statement in 2001, 2022. Here we are. You know what I mean? We here where we're making noise, making a good kind of noise, I guess you say, right? So yes. I have a question for you in a sense of reflection there, Joe. What do you or have you enjoyed the most about doing this podcast over the last year?
It's an eye-opener for me, because when I was younger, I was always told I had to silence myself. I was always told that I had to be careful of what I said and how I said it. Right. Now, being in my teens and my 20s, I necessarily didn't understand that, because I thought someone was putting a muzzle on me. Right. And I had no filter, But as I'm getting older, I realized there's ways to say what you want to say without being offensive, without offending people, without making people feel like you're against them. Right. And this has taught us that we can get our points across, but we don't necessarily have to be volatile. We don't have to be explicit. We can go about our business and handle and do what we have to do. And there's nothing wrong with what we're doing, and do it on a scale where we're reaching hundreds of thousands of people. People all over the world can watch this.
Right.
People are in India right now, probably watching us on Spotify, saying, "I would like to meet Mahli and Joe someday." Excuse my Indian accent. But there are people that we've never met in our lifetime that can be influenced by what we're doing.
Right. And that's yeah. So to answer to ask myself the same question, and what did I or what have I enjoyed the most about doing the podcast over the last year? Actually, like it says, it's a matter of doing what we love, which is trying to help enlighten our people. That's the most enjoyable part about this is the attempt. You understand what I'm saying? I'm here. If when I think about it, it's like, we don't do it for the likes, we don't do it for the views, we don't do it for the shares, we don't do it for the subscriptions, we don't do it for any of the reasons besides why we do it each week, which is to give people some good information, some good insight, some different views. You know what I mean? A little, some really good views. And that's my reflective moment, because that's why you see I'm kind of somber, because I'm thinking back on it, and it's been an amazing ride so far. This last year, that's what I enjoyed the most about it, is learning. My next question for you, Joe, real quick, in the light of reflection. What are some memorable moments for you? Or a memorable moment? It could be just one moment, but what are some memorable moments for you?
Just the process that we took to getting this together.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it was an idea. You came to me one day and was like, "We need to have a podcast." And I'm like, okay. I dabbled with it from time to time. So I personally was a little worried, because I know by myself, I'm not as good as I want to be, but I know with somebody else, we could be better. So I said, you know what? I think I'm matured enough to where I'm willing to give this a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just, the moment for me was just, taking what you had and taking what I had and putting together something special. And this is where we are.
Right. Memorable moments for me is It's so many. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I got, the whole thing is the whole thing is a blur and one big memory all in the same because it's so fast. It's like, oh my goodness, we got to 1 year because when we brought up the topic of an anniversary show, I was like, wow, it's been a year. Wow, okay, all right, that's kind of cool, But one of my memorable moments, I guess I could speak to one memorable moment, was Billy Mitchell. Once Billy Mitchell came onto our show, I felt Billy Mitchell came on our show. I felt we were validated in a sense because I was actually nervous, to be honest with you, to have Billy Mitchell on. I was never nervous about any of our other shows. There's not another show I was nervous about except that one show because, like I said, like he's a living legend in the sense of what you were explaining, what he's done already, and you were just trying to explain it, and then to witness it and to see it for yourself and whatnot, and just I was like, wow, we have so much work to do. We have so much to do. We can get there with the help of a man such as him, and we got to just utilize our resources. So my memorable moment is Billy Mitchell really just letting me know. And then mind you, he actually gave us the nod of approval that day. I remember that clearly. He was like, yo, you got what you guys over here doing. That's what's up. You know what I mean? So shout out to Billy Mitchell once again because he gave me a sense of pride in doing what we're doing. So my next question for you real quick, Joe, is what were or are some of the biggest challenges of doing this show? Or what?
Well, I would love to get to the point where we're able to do the shows in person. All three of us being there. I know that's not possible with Zakaria being in California, but I want to get to we're in person because I think the energy feeds off a little better. I for one am personally tired of this virtual reality stuff. Being in person, energy is a lot better. And I think I think the show will flow a lot better too.
Right. I do. I mean, the challenge for me would be this virtual reality kind of thing. One of the other challenges is just making sure that we're fresh and new and lively and giving, new information, even if it's regurgitated information, just maybe a different way to maybe it's for a different audience per se. So those are the challenges for me. The biggest challenge ahead would be, like you said, to come to a space where we're doing this weekly in person. I'm actually ready. I'm ready when you are, to be honest with you. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? We could do this. I just look at your schedule and I think, with your schedule and how tight things might be sometimes, this is the best way for us at the moment. But as soon as we do that, then the sky's the limit. And then I'm ready to do some other things when it come down to promotions and such, because I feel like the quality of show is that much better. I feel like right now I'm giving you a Zoom show.
Right.
People out here be having backgrounds and settings and lighting and different views and we could probably start doing the what they said, pre-show, keeping the discussion in line. 3 free minds collaborate can go crazy. Challenge,
absolutely. Especially when we all have different opinions and how we think.
3 free minds collaborate can go crazy. It sure can. And then when you have our light-skinned brother Zakaria, who is the most militant black man I know.
Listen, that's where it is. It's going to be deeper than ours sometimes,
Hey, listen. And I'm not mad at him because I can go there in thought. But when it comes down to public consumption, I try to, like you said, we try to, we want to feed them, you want to feed them with honey. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do it with bitters, you know what I mean? With garlic. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh man. So what are you hoping to do with this platform in the future? Real quick, because
reaching the masses, continue to reach the masses. There's a whole lot of people who don't know about us. There's a lot of people who do. Just continue to reach the masses, and hopefully we making some type of noise.
What I'm hoping to do with the platform in the future is exactly what we've been doing, which is getting into your head, making you plug into what we're trying to do, make you get involved into what we're trying to do, make you understand what we're trying to do, and inform you on what's going on around you. Because if we open up your mind to what's going on around you, then you probably can do something about what's going on around you. You know what I mean? You can make those necessary changes, you know? So, you know, shout out to my sister that's listening. Shout out to my moms. I don't know if she's still up. She probably sleep. She's old. Don't tell her I said that, please. Please don't say that. You's a snitch if you do, I'm telling you. In-person lectures, events, meetings of the minds with other like-minded people. Yes. We could start doing that, Joe. Well, that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to actually start having events where we have speaking engagements and such, and then just invite a bunch of people. I was thinking about that in this format as well. But where do we go from here? We're going to go to the top. We're going to be in the minds of other people shortly, and that's as soon as we, like I said, raise production. Get into the same space, and you know, and feed, like you said, feed off of one another. See our man Sean Don doing all the clapping and all that other stuff in the corner somewhere.
have more sounds too.
Yeah, have more sounds. Yeah, we need a new track. Nah, I want laughter. Where the laughing at? I want the laughing. Yeah. There we go. On cue. Yo, and with that, I got a special announcement, man. Listen, we always try to do different things. I don't know if Joe know about it. I think he might know about it. But me and my business partner there, Jada John, we have started a little vending hustle. It's called Corner Cubbage. It's a pop-up restaurant, guys. It's a pop-up restaurant. All right, Corner Cubbage. Shout out to Corner Cubbage. We will be doing a taste testing, then dining event. What's that say? March. I can't read that. But I'll be sharing the flyer to everyone. Okay, pop-up tasting. Okay, March 20th at 6 p.m. is at Restoration Plaza, people. Is at Restoration Plaza. That's 1360 Fulton Street, 5th floor. Dining tickets will be $50. What you will be doing, you will be tasting a bunch of food. Okay, that's a simple. See what you don't understand. It is a hustle, because if you don't think corporations is hustling, then you got another thing coming, young lady. Because that's all they do. They the biggest hustlers. They are the biggest hustlers. All right. But yes, it is a whole corporation. It is not just we selling plates. We just not selling plates. All right. Check out the website, Corner Cubbage. It will explain everything that we're doing. I cannot explain in detail. Maybe, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have Jada John come on next week, and I'm going to have Jada John come on next week, and she's going to explain everything about Corner Cubbage.
I can't wait. Listen, I like to eat, so, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. The menu is long. The menu is diverse and all that, man. And it's a whole corporation. It's a big conglomerate. It's a group of chefs teaming up to bring something very, very different to New York City. Trust you me, we're about to set a trend. I guarantee you this will be a trend. I guarantee you. You know what I mean? Yes. I hope so, Sean. Please do, man. You know what I mean? You can wear your mask too, brother.
Yes. Even though you can still wear your mask.
You can wear your mask, brother. You know what I mean? But yes, shout out to Corner Cubbage. I'll be Chef Amos in Corner Cubbage and paying homage to my father. I always want to keep his name out there to tongues of people so that they understand the kind of man he was, the kind of man he is continuously through his children, because I do believe that he lives through us. He says we also help our residents get their license, certification, and launch or propel their food business. Yes. That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to come and explain all of that, because it's like we're closing out, and I want to give you the format where you can where you can do what you do. You can do like, because this was actually her brain trust. You know what I mean? This was like, you know, I was always talking about a food truck, but you see a food truck is in the logo. That's all it is right now. So we're just you know, we have the food truck mentality, but with the restaurant mentality as well. You know what I mean? With restaurant quality, you know, food truck mentality with restaurant quality. Coin that. We're gonna coin that right there.
There you
know
go.
what I mean?
I love it.
You know what I mean? So Joe, we already know you're gonna be in the building. Alicia, we're gonna be in the building. The people that check us out and love us is gonna be in the building. We're gonna try to make it happen for you guys, man. We just keep trying to make changes in this world, man. Joe, any last words, real quick?
1 year down, many more to go, right? We still going to continue this legacy. So listen, for everybody who tunes into our podcast and enjoy the words that Mahli and I speak, just continue. We have a lot more to share and a lot more to go. And, you know, hopefully we're making a difference in your lives or impacting some type of way.
Proud of you, Joe, man. You the man, man. 1 year down, man. And you thought you couldn't do this, man. Come on.
That's right. We here. I'm here.
All right, listen, I was scared for a minute, man. And then sometimes, listen, some weeks, people think it's easy, man. Some weeks it's a struggle, man.
Yeah,
some weeks it's a struggle to get up here and talk this talk, man. Especially with the world. Listen, you got to think about it. There's a whole war going on outside, and we still trying to stay positive and trying to, fight the good fight, you know? So, listen, with that being said, man, love all of y'all, man. Stay safe, man. And listen, F war. Peace.
Peace.